Welcome to the online science class. Today I am going to discuss with you our second chemistry chapter, acid, base and salts. At the end of today's class, you will learn about physical properties of acid and base and also some chemical properties of acid and base. Let's start our class. You have learned from your previous classes that sour and bitter taste of food is due to the presence of acid and base respectively present in them. What are acids? Acids are the substances which have sour taste. Examples of acidic substances are lemon juice, tomato and vinegar. Lemon juice contains citric acid, tomato contains oxalic acid and vinegar contains acetic acid. What are bases? Bases are the substances which have bitter taste. Examples of the basic substances are washing soda, baking soda and milk of magnesia, etc. Baking soda contains sodium bicarbonate as the base. Washing soda contains sodium carbonate as the base and milk of magnesia contains magnesium hydroxide as the base. Acids are the substances which have sour taste. The term has been derived from the Latin word acidus, which means sour. A few examples of acidic substances used in everyday life include lemon juice, tomatoes, vinegar, etc. Bases are the substances which have bitter taste. A few examples of substances having basic nature include washing soda, baking soda, etc. How to differentiate acid and bases? In order to differentiate acid and bases, we have indicators with us. What are indicators? Indicators are the substances which we use to test whether the substance is acid or base. Indicators are the substances which we use to test whether the given solution is acidic or basic. And we have natural indicators as well as synthetic indicators. Litmus is an example of natural indicators, and phenolphthalein and methyl orange are the examples of synthetic indicators. Synthetic indicators means artificial indicators. Litmus. We have two litmus papers like red litmus paper and blue litmus paper. Acid changes blue litmus paper to red, and the base changes red litmus paper to blue. This is the color changes in litmus solution or litmus paper. If we talk about the synthetic indicators like phenolphthalein and methyl orange, they have different colors in acidic and basic medium. We have acidic indicators and basic indicators with us. What are acidic indicators? Acidic indicators are the indicators which show color changes only in the acidic medium. And basic indicators changes their color only in the basic medium. One of such acidic indicator is methyl orange. Methyl orange shows color changes only in the acidic medium. And phenolphthalein is a basic indicator. Why? Phenolphthalein shows color changes in basic medium. So, phenolphthalein is a basic indicator and methyl orange is an acidic indicator. Let's check their color changes. Phenolphthalein is colorless in acidic medium. If we add phenolphthalein into an acid, we get colorless solution. That means no color change. If we add the same into a base, it gives pink color. It gives pink color, which means phenolphthalein is pink in basic medium. Phenolphthalein is colorless in acidic medium and pink in basic medium. Why it shows only color changes in the basic medium? Because it is a basic indicator. And methyl orange is orange color in base. Orange is the color for the methyl orange. Methyl orange exists in orange color. So there is no color change, same color. But if we add the same into an acid, orange changes to red, which means methyl orange is an acidic indicator, only shows color changes in acidic medium. We have litmus, phenolphthalein and methyl orange as the indicators. Litmus is an example of natural indicators, and we can include turmeric also in the natural indicators. Turmeric is a basic indicator. Turmeric turns to red when it contact with a base. That's why if we wash our clothes containing turmeric stain, if we wash with soap, you may see that yellow color changes to red. Why? Because turmeric is a basic indicator. Soap is a base. So when soap come contact with this turmeric, it changes its color to red. And phenolphthalein is a basic indicator which shows color changes only in the basic medium. It turns to pink in base. And methyl orange is an acidic indicator. It shows color changes only in the acidic medium. In the base, same color, orange, and in the acidic, it turns to red. As well, we have one more type of indicator, olfactory indicators. Olfactory indicators are the indicators which gives different smell or odor in acidic or basic medium. Olfactory indicators are the indicators which shows different smell or odor in acidic and basic medium. Examples of olfactory indicators are vanilla, clove, onion, etc. Olfactory indicators. An olfactory indicator is a substance whose smell varies depending on whether it is mixed with an acidic or basic solution. Olfactory indicators can be used in the laboratory to test whether a solution is a base or an acid, a process called olfactory titration. Titration is an laboratory experiment. Onion, clove oil and vanilla extract are examples. They changes their smell in acidic and basic medium. Now we can discuss about the chemical properties of acid and base. The first chemical property is reaction of metal with acid and base. If a metal react with an acid, they form metal, salt and hydrogen gas. If a metal react with a base, they form metal, salt and hydrogen gas. If a metal react with an acid, they form metal, salt and hydrogen gas. If a metal react with a base, they form metal, salt and hydrogen gas. Metal plus acid give metal, salt plus hydrogen. Metal plus base gives metal, salt plus hydrogen. Then how to test the presence of hydrogen gas there? Show the matchstick near the mouth of the test tube. If it burns with pop sound, which indicates the presence of hydrogen gas. If we show the matchstick near the mouth of the test tube, if it burns with pop sound, which indicates the presence of hydrogen gas. So the term pop sound only indicates the presence of hydrogen gas. If we show the matchstick near the mouth of the test tube, if it burns with pop sound, which indicates the presence of hydrogen gas. In the picture you can see zinc react with sulfuric acid. Zinc is a metal, sulfuric acid is an acid. When a metal reacts with an acid, it forms metal, salt and hydrogen gas. If we show matchstick near the mouth of the test tube, it burns with pop sound. If it burns with pop sound, which indicates the presence of hydrogen gas. So this is the confirmatory test for hydrogen gas. Let's discuss some examples. Look at here. Zinc react with hydrochloric acid to form zinc chloride and hydrogen gas. Zinc is a metal and hydrochloric acid is an acid. So when metal react with an acid, they form metal salt. So here the metal salt is zinc chloride and the gas evolved from the reaction is hydrogen. And zinc react with sulfuric acid to form zinc sulfate. Zinc sulfate is a metal salt and which gas? Hydrogen gas. Magnesium react with hydrochloric acid to form magnesium chloride and hydrogen gas. And this is another very important reaction when a metal react with a base. Sodium hydroxide is a base. When a metal react with a base, they form metal, salt and hydrogen. So this reaction is very important and this product also very important. So there's a chance of question like identify the product when zinc react with a base, sodium hydroxide. Identify the product and write the molecular formula for the product. So what is that product? That product is zinc, sodium zincate. What is the name of that product? Sodium zincate. And the molecular formula Na2ZnO2. And which gas evolved from the reaction? Hydrogen. And how to test the presence of hydrogen? Show the matchstick near the mouth of the test tube. If it burns with pop sound, which indicates the presence of hydrogen gas. Let us discuss some more examples. When a metal reacts with an acid, they form metal salt plus hydrogen gas. Sodium plus hydrochloric acid gives sodium chloride plus H2. Iron plus hydrochloric acid gives ferrous chloride plus hydrogen. Magnesium plus sulfuric acid gives magnesium sulfate plus hydrogen. Aluminium plus sulfuric acid gives aluminium sulfate plus hydrogen. Reaction of metal carbonates or metal hydrogen carbonate with acid. When a metal carbonate or metal hydrogen carbonate react with an acid, they form salt, carbon dioxide and water as the product. When a metal carbonate or metal hydrogen carbonate react with an acid, forms a salt, water and carbon dioxide as the product. Okay, I'll show you how it is. Sodium carbonate is an example of metal carbonate. And when metal carbonate react with an acid, so this is an acid, they form salt, carbon dioxide and water. Okay, so this sodium and chlorine, sodium and 2 chlorine together 2 NaCl, that is the salt. Okay, then you can see 2 hydrogen. 2 hydrogen means what? H2. And also here you can see 1 carbon and 3 oxygen. We need only 1 carbon and 2 oxygen for the carbon dioxide. So 1 oxygen excess there. So that oxygen and this hydrogen together, water. Na and chlorine together, sodium chloride, and 2 hydrogen and the third oxygen from the CO3 joins together to form water, and carbon dioxide remains, and it evolves as the third or second product. Metal carbonate react with an acid, they form sodium chloride or salt, carbon dioxide or water. When a metal carbonate react with an acid, we get 3 products like salt, carbon dioxide and water. Okay, and we can discuss one more equation. NaHCO3. So this is sodium bicarbonate. When sodium bicarbonate is an example of metal hydrogen carbonate. When a metal hydrogen carbonate react with hydrochloric acid, they form metal salt plus carbon dioxide plus water. How they form? This sodium and chlorine forms NaCl. And here also you can see 1 hydrogen, and here also you can see 1 hydrogen. So together 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen from this CO3, that is H2O. And the remaining one is carbon dioxide. So the difference between these two reactions are giving same product. But the difference here is, in the first reaction 2 molecules of hydrochloric acid, and the second reaction only 1 molecule of hydrochloric acid. Why? Because here already hydrogen inside the sodium bicarbonate. Right, but here Na2CO3, there is no hydrogen. So in order to balance it, we have to use 2 molecules of hydrochloric acid in the first reaction. But the products are same, salt, water, carbon dioxide. And here I am going to introduce a term, brisk effervescence or effervescence. Effervescence is the term related to the production of carbon dioxide. When a metal carbonate react with an hydrochloric acid, that reaction evolves carbon dioxide means, so that same equation can be referred in another way if a reaction produces effervescence. When a student conducted these experiments inside the laboratory, when he or she tried to mix these two means what? Sodium carbonate or hydrochloric acid. He or she observed that there is an evolution of some gases, or there is formation of brisk effervescence. So this brisk effervescence or effervescence is the term only related to the carbon dioxide. Just like I told you, pop sound is only for the hydrogen. Just like effervescence is the term related to carbon dioxide. So if you see effervescence anywhere, you have to know that there is production of carbon dioxide. And how to test the presence of carbon dioxide then? In order to test the presence of carbon dioxide, we have a standard test. On passing carbon dioxide gas through lime water, it forms or it turns milky color. On passing carbon dioxide gas through the lime water. Lime water means what? Calcium hydroxide, which is another name of lime water, Slaker lime. On passing carbon dioxide gas through lime water, it turns to milky white appearance due to the formation of calcium carbonate. So, which is that milky white product? The milky white appearance is due to the formation of calcium carbonate. So, which is the confirmatory test for the carbon dioxide? On passing carbon dioxide gas through the lime water or Slaker lime, if it turns milky white product, or if it turns to milky white color, which is the indication of carbon dioxide gas. So that is the confirmatory test for the carbon dioxide. Standard or confirmatory test for carbon dioxide. When sodium carbonate reacts with hydrochloric acid, it forms carbon dioxide. On passing carbon dioxide gas through lime water, it turns to milky white color. This milky white color is due to the formation of calcium carbonate. Limestone, chalk, marble, etc. are different forms of calcium carbonate. Calcium carbonate is an example of metal carbonate. When metal carbonate react with an acid, they form salt, water and carbon dioxide. So this is the equation for that. Calcium carbonate plus hydrochloric acid gives calcium chloride plus water plus carbon dioxide, and eggshell also contain calcium carbonate. So which is the confirmatory test for carbon dioxide? On passing carbon dioxide gas through the lime water, if it turns to milky color, which is the indication of carbon dioxide gas. So why there is the formation of white color? Due to the formation of calcium carbonate. So the color for the calcium carbonate is white. You know the chalk is, what is the color of chalk? Pure white, no? So that chalk is made of calcium carbonate. So that milky white appearance is due to the formation of calcium carbonate. Okay, so on passing excess carbon dioxide gas through this solution, we get, on passing excess carbon dioxide gas through this solution, it changes to calcium bicarbonate, and calcium bicarbonate is soluble in water. On passing excess carbon dioxide gas through the same solution, we get the calcium carbonate changes to calcium bicarbonate. So this calcium bicarbonate is soluble in water. So on passing excess carbon dioxide, what we get? We get the product as calcium bicarbonate, and which is soluble in water. But the calcium carbonate is not soluble in water. So calcium carbonate is insoluble in water, but calcium carbonate is soluble in water. When we get calcium bicarbonate, we get calcium bicarbonate on passing excess carbon dioxide gas. If we pass limited amount of calcium carbonate, limited amount of carbon dioxide, we get calcium carbonate as the product. Right? If we pass excess amount, we get the product calcium bicarbonate, which is soluble in water. On passing excess carbon dioxide, we get calcium bicarbonate. The reaction for that process is CaCO3 plus H2O plus CO2 gives CaHCO3, which is soluble in water. Limestone, chalk and marble are different forms of calcium carbonate. All metal carbonates and hydrogen carbonates react with acid to give a corresponding salt, carbon dioxide and water. This is end of today's class. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.